Hello. I was doing this experiment where I decided to learn a piece of music without looking at the music, the sheet music. So I had a couple of rules, and one was that I couldn't look at any videos either, so that I didn't find the bowing and stuff like that. And this is not something that I'm suggesting that anyone does, I just was interested to see what would happen if I did it. And first of all, what happened was that I realised that this piece I might have to play in a concert soon. So I thought I'd keep going with it as long as I could, but I do need to look at the music, because I'm playing with an orchestra, so it'll be a bit, I don't know, it might be a bit irresponsible if I didn't look at the music, even though it's really easy. It's Liebesleid by Kreisler. So I learnt it without looking at the music, which means I can play it from memory. The things that were really difficult were practicing it, because you have to basically memorise it before you can practice it. You have to know it really well before you can practice it, because if there's like a tricky bit, something you want to practice, you need to know you need to know how to start at that point. So you have to memorise the piece before you can do any practice, really, apart from slow practice, I guess, which I didn't do enough of. So yeah, and the other thing was difficult was remembering what you've practiced the day before, because when you've got sheet music there, you can write stuff down. You can write down what fingering you've decided to do, and you can write down what bowing you've decided to do. And I think for a while it was just kind of like a big blur in my head. And I almost at that point thought, oh, I better look at the music because I can't really practice it. But I didn't, and I'm glad I didn't actually, because after that it started to become a bit more clear in my head, and I wrote stuff down in my notebook as well. But yeah, sheet music's good for that, obviously. So I've just recorded it, and it's not like some kind of perfect recording, like there's out of tune bits and bad notes and things. But I recorded it so that I could then look at the music, and I'm looking at music right now that's been sent from King's Chamber Orchestra. I have to admit, I did accidentally look at the first bar of this the other day, and that made me realise a few things that I hadn't realised. Like, I didn't know the length of the first note, because in all the recordings it's like held on for like 2 beats instead of 1, and I saw this and realised it's 1 beat. And then also there's a little note, that little semiquaver before the grace notes. I hadn't heard that in any of the recordings, and I saw it and it looked like I didn't know that was there, so there was that. But now I'm looking at it, there's some things that I wouldn't have done, I wouldn't have tried if I'd seen this music before I tried to play it, like different bowings. And I don't know how much of the bowings was Kreisler's decision. So yeah, I think all the notes, I've got all the notes right, and the things that were difficult to find out were like where there's a pause in the music. It was difficult to know whether that was down to the performer or if it's actually in the music. Yeah, and it was also difficult to know whether something was part of the rhythm or if it was someone's expression, the generally accepted expression. Like in this bar, there's the 2 quavers at the end. It was difficult to know whether they were actually quavers or whether people were just lifting them. What else? There's some accents here, which I didn't know were there. Or it's possible that I did know they were there, but I just didn't like them. I heard them and I didn't like them. I guess there's some things that I have then done wrong, like this note here with the dot on. this E with the staccato. I was doing it like that, and then I decided not to. Yeah, I think I pretty much, like, it's very easy, but I think I've pretty much got everything, apart from the accents and specific note lengths. But I don't think most of that was really important. What I wouldn't have known if I hadn't looked at this music was that there was a 3-bar intro, because there's not that with the piano music. So yeah, I think that was an interesting experiment. I don't know if I'd do that again. If it's a small piece, maybe I would, because I do know it better than other pieces of music that I need the music for. And it did force me to learn and really decide what I was going to do and make an effort to remember it. Yeah. Anyway, see what you think. Here's the recording.